Okay, so from what I can tell, most of you are still working on your graphing activity from Monday. So let's finish that today. When you are, how does my share screen go away? When you are done with that, make sure you go back to Canvas and look at the concerns with population growth activity. Do that and make sure you can answer the questions at the bottom. Tomorrow we'll finish up this unit because this is the last of the unit. We'll finish up this unit with a little quiz. And I'll have to repeat this because only half of you are here. Not even half. But those of you who are here, you can go ahead and get started. Jaquez, you're here. As you keep, I noticed you have trouble logging in. Because I see you in and then I see you out and okay. Well, hopefully you can stay with us today. All right, so again, everybody is working on, let me go to the assignment. All right, and if you have not started it, it should be on your homepage. It's concerns with population growth. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before I repeat this. Do this student view. So I'm gonna make those go away. All right, so the only thing that you really need to be concerned with is these two: estimating population size if you haven't done it. I think most of you have, and concerned with population growth. That's the activity that's due today. All right, so what you had to do with that is you had to, you're exploring carrying capacity, and you're going to look at a curve. The person, only one person has turned it in. She's not here yet. All right, I'm going to hold off on saying anything because again, so many of you people are not in yet. And I appreciate you all who are always in on time. Some of you were in early, waiting. Appreciate you. We're missing still like about 9 people. All right, so again, while you're waiting, you shouldn't be waiting. You all go ahead. Those of you who are in, make the most of your time. Go ahead and finish working on the activity that you started the other day. You, a couple of you figured out a way to generate a graph separate to the one that's on the worksheet. All right, so you have data here. It starts with data, and then it asks you to plot the values on the horizontal axis that's going across the bottom of the dates, the years. And you all know when you're doing a graph, you also label it. So you don't just put the numbers down there, you say what it is. These are the years, the time range, or you can say time. Time range is from 1600. They want you to go all the way to 2050. And that's because one of the questions asked you to kind of, even though the data stops at 2012, they want you to extrapolate. What do you think would be the next step as it goes on, if it went on? Okay, your y-axis, it still won't work. Andre, you have all kinds of, let me see how I can get this to you. You tried Cami and that won't work either. Okay, and even with the other link that I put up, I put a second link up. So I put this link up for the PDF. You tried both. Let me see something. Yeah, and I don't know, it just seems to be that way for you. Because everybody else is able to get it to download. Trying to go back to where the original is. I can't go there. Normally it works. Um, all right, I'm gonna work on it in a minute, and just let me finish explaining this. All right, the PDF version kind of is good for me because right now it has all the questions all in one place. All right, again, you're not making a graph. The graph is there. All they want you to do is label the bottom 1650 to 2050. So you want to start with the first box. It's not the corner because the corner is 0. Because I saw one person who uploaded theirs and they had it. So you should be starting with the 1650 with your first line, not the corner. 0 is the corner. Okay, and then you want to end with 2050. Now going up again, this is going to start at 0 and do it 2 boxes at a time because they have a half value. So you want your in between box to be able to handle the data that is 0.5. So you want to label that row 0 that says values range from 0 to 15, even though you're only looking at the highest one on here is like 7. Okay. They want you to again label it so that you go up as high as 15. So again, when you're labeling your y-axis, that's the side going up, you want to put your numbers 1, so skip a box, 1, and I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see my arrow. All right, so be 1 there, 2, so skip every other box. You want to place a number so that you have room for your half values. Okay. Um, okay, what? And if you're generating the graph separately, make sure you're uploading both at the same time. There's the person I want to talk to. All righty. All right, you do have to plot the graph. Okay, you do have to plot the graph. Hi, Janila. I checked yours and I returned it because you didn't plot the graph. Folks, you got to plot the graph because technically the questions for the analysis are based on how you plotted the graph. Okay? So you do need to plot the graph and you need to make sure that when you upload your work, the graph is included. So that's what you were missing, Janila. You had a graph, but there were no plots on it. So I sent it back. All right, so please work on that today. All right, almost everybody's here. So, and Andre, I'm going to try to, okay, gotcha. All righty. So it looks like 2 of you in the car. All right, so I'm going to work on trying to, you keep writing. Look at okay, Andre, okay, I'll go with you because you asked me that the other day, so I'm gonna go with you. But I need you to use this information. So write it using this information. And you can create your own graph. Create your own graph. So use this information and create your own. That's what you need to do, not just write an essay, but you need to create your own. And that goes for anybody else who might be having trouble with this. Create your own information based on this. You don't have to upload this worksheet. Create your own. All right, coming back down here because you just joined while I was explaining that. Okay, so again, folks, the corner, everybody listen carefully. The corner is 0, so there should not be a year in the corner. The year should start with the first line. go at the bottom and go all the way to, so from 1650 to 2050, that's on the bottom. And you decide how you want to break down those rows. Again, the corner is 0, so going up, you want to have 0 and then skip a box, go every 2 boxes going up so that you have 1, 2, 3, and so on up to, say, go up to 15. That's what they asked you to do, so up to 15. So that when you are plotting the 0.5s, you have a row for the 0.5s. Okay? So that's how you want to do the graph. So again, Andre, pull up, you can make your own graph, take the information. I don't want you to write an essay. I want you just to find a way to answer these questions without uploading this document. But I will leave this up. You can read it. You might not be able to download it, but you should be able to read it. So I'm going to leave this up. Well, I'm going to take it down for a minute because I have to do attendance, but I'll put it back up. And I want you to copy this information, then copy the questions. Again, folks, if you would, then thank you, Janali, you did that wonderfully. Try to answer your questions in the different colors so it stands out from the question. It's easier to read when you do it that way. So I appreciate that you did that. All right. Any other questions? So again, Andre, don't write an essay. I'm going to leave this information up. Somehow copy and paste this information into your own Word document that you can write on. Generate from your Word document, generate a graph. So again, everybody, if you are having trouble opening this document, you don't have to send me this document back. Just copy and paste this, answer the questions, and send that document back to me. Okay? All righty. All right, so again, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute so that I can do attendance. Then I'll come back and share again if you need me to. Mm. Aaron, good morning. We're finishing up the activity from the other day. The concerns with population growth graph. That's what we're working on. Looks like we lost Jaquise again. All right, Lucas. Thank you. All right, folks, when I look at GoGuardian, I shouldn't see idle for 18 minutes. Okay. And again, if you all are finished, when you finish this and you upload, go back to Canvas and do that activity, the matching activity. And I'll pull that up and again as soon as I finish attendance. All right, Andre, you good at generating your own graph and just plotting and answering the questions? Oh, sorry, not at the thing at the moment. Okay. Come back and ask that question in a minute. All right, again, this is the last module topic under um, human populations. So read that last page in Canvas. I'm not sharing, am I? Thought I was. Give me a second. Okay. So when you are done, you want to what is population? Do that matching section. Make sure that you can answer these questions. What is the difference between R and K strategies? So go back and look at those. Look at your vocabulary. Like I said, this is the end of the unit. Go back and read over the other pages when you're done. We're going to have a short quiz tomorrow. Watch the video again. Make sure you understand demographic graphs. Know your 4 stages of demographic transition. It won't let you do it again. There's not a reset button on it. Um, um, when you're done, there should be a way to reset it. Usually there is. Okay. Well then, if you were, just make sure that you know how to answer these questions. I don't know what to tell you about trying to do it a second time. But if you did it the first time, you should know the correct answer to these questions. So make sure that, yes, you can. Folks, again, if you have to create your own graph paper, um, go ahead and do that. If that's easier for you to do, um, there are, I think somebody had put in the link the last time, a graph generator. So it might be that you can actually put these coordinates in the graph generator and it makes a graph for you. But you do need a graph. All right. All right. So what I was also saying, let me do this way. Go back to the overview. And make sure that you're comfortable with all of these definitions. All right, as far as the R and K values are concerned, he mentioned those in the video, and I think while we were watching the video, I paused so that you could write them down. If not, you need to, if you did not do that, watch the video again, not that video. All right, make sure that you're familiar with these equations. All right, coming back, coming back. This video. So watch this video again. If you did not get the definitions for R strategist and K strategist organisms, those were discussed in this video. Okay, yours doesn't look like this where you can restart it. Because when it comes up, you can say resume or restart. Liliana, you can't, doesn't come up as restart like mine just did. Okay, so that's an issue we have to look at. Okay. All right, so again, just make sure you can answer these questions. I'm not grading it from here, so it's not going to give me a grade from Canvas. So that one is just for you, your review. So don't worry about what that score is. Make sure you know the right answers because on the quiz, that will score. Andre, do you need me to leave the template up or you're able to at least see it from Canvas? Because I'll put the template back up. Okay. All right. And then just create your own document based on the answers to the question. Create your own graph and submit that. You don't have to submit this document. All right. I'll stop sharing. Out again. All right, so again, I do have a few submissions. If you are done, make sure you go back and review the unit. Okay. Okay. Let me, if you have, actually, um, let me see something. Preach on me that they want something. Okay. Uh, Okay, folks, you got about 2 more minutes left to class. Anybody have a question for me? So it's okay to okay, let me go back and look at the worksheet. The first part, when it asks, what does it say in the first part where the I don't know where Jayla, I don't know, saying in the first part on the first page. Which question? There are 5 questions. Which question? All of them? Okay, I'll go back over real quick with you. Give me a second to pull it up again. All right, on this first page, you have a set of information. See, this is as much a graphing. Can you make a graph? Because you need to be able to make graphs. We do a lot of graphs in environmental science. So you're going to take all of this information on the graph. You're going to plot your graph. So if the graph, step 1 asks you to plot the graph, put the dates at the bottom. So across the bottom, so you should have 1650 going all the way across to 2050. That's where your dates are going to go. So you're going to take all of these dates in column number 1 and you're going to plot them across the bottom of the graph. Going up the side of the graph, you're going to, it tells you to place the number of people going from 0 to 15. And this is in billions. So the numbers is not just one, these are billions. So on the side, you should, when you do a graph, you should always put your units. So at the bottom, you want to place that the time is years. Going up the side, you want to say that the units are in billions. Okay, so you're going to put those numbers going up the side of the graph. And again, you want to make sure that you do every other box. So you're going to start with 0 in the corner and then go 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. For every 2 boxes, you're going to put a number all the way up to 15. Okay, and then you're going to put dots where the information, the number of people you're going to correlate. In 1650 it was 0.5. In 1750 it's 0.70. In 1850 it was 1 billion people. In 1925 it was 2 billion people, and so on. You put dots where those things correlate. Then once you've made your graph, you want to look at the graph and answer the questions 1 through 5 based on what you're looking at on your graph. Okay, this gives you a visual. Okay, so then you need to, it's telling you, number 5 is telling you that this graph is a visual of exponential growth. So then you need to know the definition of exponential growth. Since it's based on the properties of this graph, what does it mean? So looking at it as, now you can give me a textbook definition, but if you do, what it really wants you to do is to look at the graph based on your graph. What does exponential growth mean? All right, then you want to read this paragraph, and then based on that paragraph, you're answering questions 6, 7 through 10. Okay? All right, Jayla, did that answer your question? Okay. All right. Any other questions before you have to go? All right. See you all tomorrow.